Just put your names in the chat. We've only got a few of us today, but that's okay. We're gonna have a good time and we're gonna have lots of participation, right? All righty. So hope everyone had a great weekend. Oh, let's see. Let's give who's connecting to audio. Let's give Nicole just a second, see if she can connect to audio. All right, maybe we will just go ahead and get started, okay? So let's see here. Is my PowerPoint gonna work? Yes, there we go. So last week's Healthy Habit Challenge, we had two, right? Because we're building on with our summer series. Our first one was to choose a tip that we talked about staying hydrated and do it at home at least 2 times, right? And our other challenge was to choose one tip that we talked about for sun safety and share it with at least 2 people. So did we do that? Does anyone want to share what they did? Anyone? You could share what you did for both challenges or just one, whatever you want.
Hey, Michelle, you know what? All this week I've been being safe, putting on sunblock every time.
Awesome.
Every time I do sports, and I've been drinking sparkling water drinks like this.
Awesome, Nicole. Thanks so much for sharing that. Did you share any tips about sun safety with people around you? It's okay if you didn't.
Yeah, you'll be staying in the shade.
Yes, yeah, you've been staying in the shade. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Does anyone else want to share what they did? You can go ahead and unmute yourself. You want to share?
Oh, I know. Drink plenty of water and get hydrated.
Awesome, Gilbert. Yes, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to drink plenty of water and get hydrated. Did anyone share a tip about sun safety with someone around them this past week? Maybe a family member or a teammate, a friend, someone you met at the store. It's okay if you didn't, but let's see. Or what about staying hydrated? Did anyone else besides Nicole and Gilbert work on the challenge? Okay, that's okay. We don't have, if we can, there will be plenty of other opportunities for participation. So we will go ahead and get started. So today's Health Corner series, continue on with our summer series, is staying active in the summer. Now, this kind of builds upon what we've already talked about, right? The summer can be an interesting time for everyone because maybe if you do a program or you're in school, sometimes schedules change during the summer. So it can be easy to think, oh, I want to be lazy. I want to lay around and watch TV, but we want to make sure that we're staying active this summer, right? It's okay to lounge around too, but we want to make sure that we're incorporating movement in, and that goes along with staying hydrated. And in the summer, what's really nice is the weather's really nice, so we can afford to be outside for a little bit longer, of course, practicing sun safety. So let's review quickly. What are some of the benefits of being in the sun or being outdoors? Would anyone like to share? What's something good about the sunshine? What does it do for us? Yep, Kyle, that's right. We do want to wear sunglasses when we're in the sun. But what does the sun do for us? Do you remember from last week's Health Corner? It's a source of what? You could take a guess if you're not sure.
Yeah, and Michelle, you can get some vitamin D, and the sun is from the vitamin D.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Nicole. So let's see. Right there, we get vitamin D from the sun, right? So the sun that we talked about last week is a source of energy, right? So we actually get so many great benefits from being out in the sun. we have to be safe about it, but it can help. Exactly what Nicole said, we'll get vitamin D. It helps boost our immune system. It can help with our mental health. It'll help us sleep better even. There's so many great benefits. So being outdoors or getting a dose of the outdoors every day is actually so great for our health. And let's see here. Now, what does it mean to stay active? Does anyone want to share? We can take a guess. I want to hear from someone I haven't heard from yet. Let's see. How about Nicole Inoy? Do you have any ideas? What does it mean to stay active? You can take a guess.
Okay, so staying active means to like just keep busy and move around, not just staying still.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly right. So oh my gosh. That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So are these people staying active? No, right? And they're not doing anything bad necessarily, right? It's okay to watch TV. It's okay to read. That's actually really great too. It's okay to play some video games, but like Nicole just told us, staying active means moving our bodies, and staying active is one of the best things that we can do for our health. And the best part is there are so many great ways to stay active, especially in the summer when the weather's nice. We maybe have a little bit more free time. As athletes, you all play sports that keep you active. But this summer, maybe it might be good to give a new activity a try to switch things up. You might find a new hobby. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to give you some ideas, perhaps, that could help you stay active this summer. So why is it important to stay active? Does anyone want to take a guess? Maybe, let's see. Maybe Kiana, do you want to take a guess? Why is it important to stay active? It's okay if you don't know, just take a guess. Oh, here, you can unmute yourself.
When you go outside, just pick lots of water and eat more vegetables and fruits.
Yeah, that's super important. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Does anyone want to take a guess why it's important to stay active?
Yes.
Yeah, Gilbert, go ahead. I see your hand is raised.
So, stay active is going to the beach and exercise and walking and also ride bicycles.
Exactly, Gilbert. Those are great examples of staying active. I love it. And we're going to talk about some of those great ideas today too. Yep,
Oh,
Nicole
yeah.
Kelly, go ahead.
Also, you can go to the pool, you can swim at the pool, and you can ride your scooters too.
Yes, absolutely. Other great ways to stay active. You guys are way ahead of me, and
Yep.
we're going to talk about some of these
Yeah.
things.
And the Special Olympic sports too. That's
Oh.
a big, and that's a big thing. Especially
Exactly.
the Saturday is the area games for soccer and bocce.
Yes, it is. You are so right. All right. So let's see. It is important to stay active because it's one of the best things we can do for our overall health. And there are so many benefits to staying active. So similar to sunshine, staying active can help promote mental health. It can help improve our bone health and strength, just like being out in the sun helps give us vitamin D, which is really great for our bones. Staying active actually can help our strengthen our bone health as well. It can help us maintain a healthy body weight. It'll lower blood pressure, helps with our brain power and energy, helps give us more energy, just like being in the sun. So if you can imagine, staying active outside will give us even more benefits, right? Because if you think about all the benefits we already talked about being in the sun, now we have all these benefits of staying active. You combine them, you will be unstoppable. Let's see. So how much activity do we actually need? Does anyone know, or would anyone like to take a guess? I'm looking for a number in minutes. How many minutes do we think we need? Nicole Wayne, would you like to take a guess? How many minutes do you think we need of activity?
2.
2 minutes? That's it? That's a good guess. Not quite 2. I'm looking for a number bigger than 2. Tulonga, would you like to take a guess? How many minutes, Tulonga, do you think?
How many minutes you say?
11.
11? That's a good guess. Thank you for guessing that. We're getting closer. Nicole
Yeah.
Kelly, go ahead.
How about 60 minutes?
60 minutes. All right, that's a good guess. Well, I will tell you, it actually lands somewhere in the middle. So we want about 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercise. So 60 minutes, Nicole, like you said, that would be great. But at the bare minimum, we want about 150 minutes per week. So similar to what Nicole Inouye said earlier too, we want to keep busy, we want to keep our bodies moving. So minimizing the amount of time spent sedentary, or that's like sitting or lounging, laying down. We want to minimize that time. We want to be, like Nicole said, active, moving around, exercising. That will help our overall health. So 150 minutes a week. There are 7 days in a week. If we discount the weekend, so just the 5 days, that means we want to be getting 30 minutes of movement into every day. Okay, so if we need a rest day on the weekend, that's okay. We could take a rest day, but we want at least 150 minutes per week. So that's 30 minutes from Monday to Friday at least. Or if, and if we want to do more, that's great, right? Like Nicole Kelly said, if we could get 60 minutes in every day, that would be awesome, right? We could walk, we could bike, we could do so many fun things that would be keeping us active. And exactly, we can try to stay creative ways to stay active, or find creative ways to stay active and minimize our time just sitting, laying around, which is still okay, but we want to make sure that we're incorporating enough movement into our daily lives. And this is my quick reminder that staying active should be fun, right? If I hate running, then I don't have to run to stay active, right? I could do something else that I enjoy, like I could dance, I could swim, I could go for a bike ride. There are so many different things we could do. And we want to make sure that we are doing something that we enjoy, because when we do something we enjoy, we're going to do it more often, right? So it'll be easier to become a habit. So, So that being said, we're going to talk about some fun ideas to stay active this summer. This is just a very brief list. I'm sure you all can come up with a million more ideas, but these are just some points to get you started, and you'll see later, but our challenge this week is going to be a fun one. So the first one is one of our easiest ways to stay active, and that is walking or running. It's the easiest one because all we need is our bodies, right? We can just stand up and walk around or run if we want to. But when we walk or run, we need to avoid overheating, especially if we're walking or running outside, by remembering to hydrate, right? So can anyone tell me one tip about staying hydrated that we talked about 2 weeks ago? Anyone? Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Nicole. Nicole Kelly. Yeah, go ahead.
Staying hydrated means to drink a lot of water.
Yep, that's right. Does anyone remember how much water we want to have?
A lot of water, I can say that, but I can say 5 or 10 or 30 in gallons of water.
That's a lot of water, Nicole Kelly. That's a great guess. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yep. So we need 6 to 8 8-ounce cups of water per day, right? Does anyone remember that little trick we talked about? Remember we talked about drinking 1 glass of water with every meal and before and after exercise, right? So if we're going to be outside, we want to be drinking extra water, especially if we're going to be in the sun. Let's see. Quick pop quiz. Are these people practicing sun safety here? What are they missing? What are they missing? What could make them more sun safe? Oh, Nicole Wayne, I do see you saying sugary drinks. That's right. We want to avoid sugary drinks. You are so right. Kyle, swimming, almost. We're going to talk about swimming in a minute, but what about these people? What could they have that would make them more sun safe than they are currently? Kiana, do you want to take a guess?
I see people aren't running. They need to drink more water, more energy.
Yeah, they do need to, they could use they could use water. That's right. That's very true. But let's see. They need sunglasses, right? We want to make sure we're wearing a hat and sunglasses when we're outside. Okay. Let's see. And our next way to stay active, or I guess 1A to what we just talked about, so walking or running, we could enjoy the park or botanical gardens, right? We are so lucky that we live in Hawaii where there are so many beautiful things to see outside, and we could easily just go to the park or some botanical gardens and go for a walk or hang out with our friends, right? We could grab a friend, a family member. If we have a pet, maybe like a dog, we could bring them along and take them for a walk there. Be great fun for everyone, right? Now, our next tip or our next way of staying active, if walking or running isn't your thing, which is totally understandable, sometimes it can, or I think it gets a little bit boring. So I like to wear or bring music when I walk or run. You could try some wheels. So like many of you mentioned earlier, you could bike, you could skate, you could scooter, you could skateboard, rollerblade. There are so many different vehicles on wheels that you can use to stay active, and it's actually a really great workout. So if you think any of these things are fun, that's perfect. I want you to pick something that you think is fun, a fun way to stay active, because the more fun you think it is, the more often you're going to do it. And that's what we want, is to incorporate activity into a habit, right? But when we're doing these things, safety first, please do not forget to wear a helmet. We want to protect your brains and all the great thoughts and ideas you have up there. So definitely you need to wear a helmet if you're out and about on wheels. Our third one that several of you have already suggested is swimming or surfing or kayaking, any sort of water sport. Being in the water is actually a really great full body workout, and it can also be a mood booster. So I love to swim. It's a really low impact workout. So low impact means it's not so hard on our joints. So if you think about running, right, sometimes maybe our knees hurt when we run, or our ankles, because you're really pounding that ground. Well, when you're swimming, it's similar to being weightless, right? So it's a very low impact, but full body workout. That's really, really great. However, if we're going to swim or surf or be out in the water, we need to practice water safety, which is what we're going to talk about next week at Health Corner. But just as a quick preview, we never want to swim or surf or be out in the water without a lifeguard or a coach or a family member or friend around, right? We want to make sure that we're being safe and somebody knows where we are and can watch us just in case something happens. Maybe we get knocked off by a wave or something. We just want to make sure that we are accounted for, okay? My fourth tip is to hike. Does anyone like to hike? Hiking is a great way to get outside and connect with the outdoors. You like to hike, Gilbert? That's awesome.
Yeah.
When we hike though, right, we never want to hike alone, okay? So we always need to make sure we're bringing a friend or a family member along for the adventure. Does anyone recognize this hike down in the left-hand corner?
Yeah, and Michelle,
Yeah.
one thing my sister goes hiking at the IAA loop. The last time I went with Linda, I had a good time hiking up there.
Awesome. That is so awesome. That's exactly what we want, right? It's a great way to connect with people we love and also get some movement in. Nicole and Noah, I
Yep.
saw your hand go up. Do you recognize it? Where do you think that is?
Oh yes. Oh no, sorry. I was just agreeing that I do it
Oh,
sometimes.
oh, awesome. That's great to hear. Yes, hiking is so fun, especially in Hawaii. Kiana, I see your hand up. Oh, you got to unmute. Sorry.
I've been there with my family.
Yeah, where do you remember where it is?
I think that was at the Diamond Head.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's at Diamond Head. It's a very popular hike here on Oahu. Um, and it's a really nice view, obviously. So that's a bonus for hiking. You get to look at the beautiful views that we have here. I think hiking is one of my favorite ways to stay active this summer. You can always see new parts of the island that you maybe haven't seen before, regardless of what island you're on. So maybe that could be a fun thing to give a try. Okay. Now, let's do a couple reminders, right? We don't want to forget to stay hydrated. Staying active is great, but we want to make sure that when we're staying active, we're staying extra hydrated, right? Do we need more or less water when we exercise, especially outside? Does anyone want to guess? Do we need more or less water?
More water when we
Yes.
exercise.
Correct, Gilbert. We do need more water. And can you tell me why?
Because it helps to keep hydrated outside.
Perfect, Gilbert. Perfect. That is exactly right. It helps us stay hydrated outside. And yep, Kyle, you're right. We do need more water. We need more water and we need more water when we are exercising outside, especially because we're sweating more, right? Because the sun is out, we're outside, we're practicing sun safety, but still it's inevitable. We will sweat a little bit more. And so we need to replenish that with more water. And another reminder here is to practice sun safety when we're doing outdoor activities, right? So we talked about sun safety last week's Health Corner. What is one sun safety tip we talked about last week that we should practice, especially when we're when we're exercising outside? Yeah, go ahead, Kiana.
Just wear like sunscreen and wear glasses and hats.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That is exactly right. Perfect. Does anyone remember another tip we talked about? Yep, Kyle, you're right. Sunglasses, super important, super important. So we've talked about sunglasses, wearing a hat, sunscreen. Does anyone else want to share what they remember from last week? Yep, Gilbert, correct. Sunscreen. Yes, Nicole Wayne, safety. We want to be safe in the sun.
Yeah,
How?
and Michelle,
Yeah.
of course, when you almost getting burned, is if you're at the beach, wear a cover up.
Yes, correct. Nicole Kelly, correct. That's perfect. And yes, Chris, we want to find some shade, right? Those are all great ideas. That's perfect. So going back to what we're talking about today. So we want to be sure that we are practicing both staying hydrated and staying sun safe when we are active outside. So we've got a couple more ideas here on how to stay active outside. Working in the garden can be a great source of activity, okay? Has anyone ever grown their own food? It can be a really fun project. Has anyone ever gardened at home? Maybe grown some fruits or veggies?
And Michelle, you know what? My sister does gardening, and she plants fruits and vegetables.
Awesome, awesome. That is so great to hear. Delicious stuff. Well, gardening can be a great way to stay active outside. Like Nicole Enoy shared with us earlier, staying active is really about staying busy and moving around. Yeah, Seth, do you have something to share? I see you have your hand raised. Oh,
You know, my grandma grows like dragon fruit, and I do a lot of yoga, exercise, and sometimes yard work, chores, everything at home.
awesome. Awesome, Seth.
I
Thanks
do
so
a
much for sharing.
job.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear the end of
I
what
do
you
a
were saying.
I do a custodial job.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So those are all great things shared by Seth. So gardening, right? Doing yard work. If you have a job, maybe, well, I don't know if the custodial job is outside, but it certainly keeps you busy and moving, right? So that is awesome. Um, as a fun idea, you can maybe, if you are like Seth and have a family member who does some gardening, you could offer to help them. It can be such a fun project to start this summer. And if you plant something that you can eat, you can reap the benefits later and you'll get to eat something that you grew. It could be really fun. My next tip that Seth
Yep.
also just mentioned is yoga. So yoga in the fresh air of the outdoors can stimulate the release of endorphins. Endorphins are a chemical that's produced by our body when we're happy, when we feel relaxed, when we are doing something that is good for our body, like movement. Oops. And being outside, right, being in the sun can do great things for our mental health. And so can yoga. So doing it outdoors can stimulate the release of endorphins. It can help us feel more relaxed. You could do, especially in Hawaii, you could do yoga on the beach next time you're at the beach. And yoga is another great way to incorporate low impact movement into our day, right? It can help with flexibility and balance, which as athletes are really, really important. And as just as human beings, right? We use our flexibility and our balance in day-to-day tasks. It can help us with lifting things, moving around. It has great benefits. So highly recommend giving yoga a try. And our last tip, and probably favorite tip, because you are all great dancers, is dance party or Zumba, right? As many of you know from our Friday dance parties, dance can be a really fun way to get moving. And my idea for you is you could host a dance party in your yard or in the park for your friends and family. How fun would that be, right? You could just get a small group together, just get a phone or something to play some music, maybe a recorder to play some music, and get out and dance in the fresh air. How fun would that be? That would be so fun. And I would love to come to all of your dance parties if you have them. So that being said, are there any other activities you can think of that would help us stay active this summer? You are all so creative. I want to hear your ideas too. And if you don't have them right now, it's okay. You can think about it. But I wanted to leave an opportunity if anyone would like to share any other ideas that maybe you thought of while we were talking about staying active this summer. Yeah, Kiana, go ahead. Hold on. You gotta unmute really quick.
Swimming.
Yeah, swimming. We
Dancing.
did. Yeah, we talked about swimming today. That's really great. That's a great way to stay active.
Yeah, I would say how about basketball and softball?
Yeah, that's great, Nicole Kelly. So if anyone has their in-season sports, like I know you're a soccer player, and also some people play bocce. Those are great ways to stay active too. Gilbert, yes, going outside and exercises and going to the beach. Seth, yes, absolutely. Walking, the easiest and low impact way to get moving. Martial arts, yes. You could go to a kickboxing class or do something crazy. That would be so fun, right? Nicole Wayne, racing. Yeah, you could race someone. You could race someone in the pool, on land. You could do a lot of fun things with that. Oh, Tai Chi,
Oh.
that's awesome. That's a really great way to stay active. Yeah, Kiana, go ahead.
Like where you do like yoga with friends and family. Remember?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep, we could do yoga with friends and family. That's the best part, right? Staying active. One, it doesn't have to be super hard. You could do something as easy as just walking, right? But we want to make sure that we're picking something fun that we enjoy doing so that we do it more often. And the best part is a lot of these ways of staying active we can do with others. So it's a great opportunity to reconnect with friends or family members or pets, even. It's a great way to make sure that we're getting in our social interaction too, right?
Mhm.
Okay, those are all great ideas. Thank you all for sharing. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions about something we talked about today or last week or the week before that? It's okay if you don't. I just like to leave the opportunity if anyone has questions. Yeah, Kyle, you could swim with a friend. We want to make sure when we're in the water, we always want somebody we know watching us, right? Or a lifeguard or something. Okay, if there are no questions, we are going to move on to our healthy habit challenge of the week, right? But remember, we build on with the summer series. So our first challenge from that first week was to choose one tip about staying hydrated that we talked about 2 weeks ago. And we do it at home at least 2 times this week. So we're still going to do that. We still want to keep hydrated. And last week's challenge, we want to choose one tip about sun safety that we talked about last week and share it with at least 2 people, right? We want to make sure that we're teaching our loved ones about sun safety and all the great things we need to do to protect our skin and our bodies from the sun. And now, because I know you all are so capable and so good about practicing all these things, this week's challenge is to choose one method of staying active that we talked about today and do it at home at least 2 times this week. So you could pick two different ones, like you could pick running and swimming and do each of those one time, or you could choose just walking and do it twice, whatever you want, okay? But I want you to try to intentionally incorporate staying active and movement into your day-to-day life at least 2 times this week. And next week, we will come prepared to share, okay? And so remember, we're doing all 3 of these. So we're going to stay hydrated, we're going to practice on safety, and now we're going to stay active too, okay? So if you have any health questions, any Holly Malleola questions, any incentive questions or song requests, please feel free to email me at any time. That is my email. I'd be happy to email with you. And see, if you ever want to watch our presentations again, you know where our YouTube channel is. It's always at the end of every slideshow. It's just Special Olympics Hawaii on YouTube. And if there are no other questions, I will see you on Wednesday's workout. We will do talk story time in just a second if no one has any questions, okay? All right, sound good? Cool. Let's see. Hold on. I will stop recording.